Hi everyone, this is Truefish. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm taking you to a city you probably think you know, Shanghai. When people talk about Shanghai, they usually picture skyscrapers, neon lights, fancy malls, and a vibrant nightlife. Yes, that's so true. But as someone who born and raised here, and as a photographer who has spent years walking every corner of the city, I can tell you this, there's so much more hiding behind those famous spots like Bond and Nanjing Road. So, in today's video, I'm going to share 7 fun facts about Shanghai that might completely change how you see the city. Let's jump in. If you ever visited Shanghai, chances you have taken the metro. But you might not know is this, Shanghai has the longest metro system in the world. It first took the top spot in 2013 and it's still growing. Every single day, more than 10 million people ride the Shanghai metro. That's like moving an entire city underground, daily. And it's not just about size, some stations here are experiences on their own. Right now I'm at the Yuan station. It's one of the deepest and most beautiful stations in Shanghai. Look up, you'll see a massive LED ceiling flowing with light, constantly changing colors, almost like the city is breathing. It's called Shanghai's pulse. Even during rush hour, people slow down just to take photos. And here is something even cooler. I'm now standing at the very front of a train on line 18. Notice something different? There's no driver operating the train. You might see a staff member sitting at the front, but trust me, they are just an inspector, not a driver. This train runs fully automatically. In fact, Shanghai already has 5 fully automated metro lines. In Shanghai, even the daily commute feels like the future. When people talk about coffee culture, cities like London, Paris, or New York usually come to mind. But here is the truth, Shanghai has the most coffee shops in the world, more than 9,000 cafes across the city. Coffee arrived in Shanghai over a century ago, and today it's completely woven into daily life. No matter where you are, historic neighborhoods, business districts, or quiet side streets, you are never far from a good cup of coffee. Behind me is Starbucks Reserve Roastery, the biggest Starbucks on earth, right here on Western Nanjing Road. This is the 2,700 square meter coffee wonderland with an 8-meter copper cask covered in 1,000 Chinese stamps. Beams zip through ceiling pipes like a coffee roller coaster. And the world's longest 27-meter bar. This isn't a cafe, it's a must-visit Shanghai landmark. But honestly, that's just the beginning. What really makes Shanghai special are these independent cafes. Take a walk down streets like Nanjing Road or Yongkang Road, and you'll find small coffee shops everywhere. Some focus on hand-drip coffee, some roast their own beans. Some are tiny with just a few seats, but incredible atmosphere. And every October, The Lujiazui International Coffee Festival brings together roasters and coffee lovers from all over the world. It's a place for them to share their passion and discover new flavors. In Shanghai, coffee isn't just a drink, it's part of the city's rhythm. I'm sure every first-time visitor to Shanghai makes a trip to the Bund, but beyond those 50 iconic Western-style buildings, Shanghai is home to 5,000 vintage Western-style villas, more than any other city in China. Unlike the Bund's grand, imposing structures that demand attention, these villas are hidden in the quiet lanes of Xuhui, Jing'an, and Huangpu districts. Most of these villas, or Laoyangfang, were built between the 1920s and 1940s, when Shanghai was Paris of the East. A melting pot of cultures, the city attracted tycoons, artists, revolutionaries, and exiles from around the world. Their dreams and dramas were literally set in stone, creating a unique architectural tapestry blending French elegance, English country, Spanish delicacy, Art Deco styles, and so on. So let's step through their gates and meet some of these legendary residents. First, let's meet the Drummond House at Huashan Road. This magnificent red brick mansion, completed in 1899, is an excellent example of British Tudor Revival architecture and one of the earliest Western-style villas in Shanghai. It was the private residence of British barrister William Van Drummond. With its steep roofs, elegant chimneys, and grand arched verandas, it stands as a testament to Shanghai's golden age. After decades of change, it has been meticulously preserved and now serves as the Huashan 263 Old Brand Museum, showcasing over a century of Shanghai's iconic brands. It's a place where the timeless whisper of history blends with the city's commercial legacy. Next, let's follow the sound of music to the Symphony Museum at number 3 Baoqing Road. This breathtaking complex, built in 1925, was once the private garden mansion of the Dai King Zhou Zongliang. This villa features a unique mix of styles. Some have classical pebble walls and red tile roofs, while others adopted a minimalist modern style with glazed tile exteriors and black steel windows, reflecting the architectural trends of Shanghai in the 1930s. Inside the villas, the original decorations have been well preserved, including brown wooden floors, wooden handrails, fireplaces, and leaded stained glass windows. After careful renovation, the villa complex was opened to the public as the Shanghai Symphony Museum in 2017, showcasing more than 300 precious historical relics, including China's first Steinway concert piano, purchased in 1921, original music manuscripts, old concert programs, and vinyl records. Here, architecture itself becomes a symphony in bricks and glass. These two villas are just a tiny glimpse of Shanghai's 5,000 hidden gems. So, here's the real question. What makes these villas so special? Others say it's how incredibly rare they are. Out of the thousands that used to exist, only a small number are still accessible today. They are fragile reminders of a glamorous international past. Now you'll find them as museums, boutique hotels, private clubs, and beloved homes. Every brick, every stained glass window, every winding staircase holds a memory. Shanghai might look like a city of skyscrapers, but it is also a city of bridges. With over 2,000 bridges spanning the rivers, canals, and even the sea, these bridges not only connect different parts of the city, but also serve as important landmarks and tourist attractions. Let's start with something huge. Where I stand is the most southern spot of Shanghai land. Behind me is Donghai Bridge, China's first sea-crossing bridge. It stretches 32 kilometers into the East China Sea and connects the city to one of the world's busiest container ports. Now I'm driving on the Donghai Bridge. The views outside are just amazing. Salty ocean wind is whipping through the windows, carrying that fresh, briny taste of the sea, and you can see a striking windmill forest of towering white turbines standing in the East China Sea, their giant blades slowly rotating with the wind. It's just breathtaking. Plus, the bridge is so long, it takes more than 30 minutes to drive across it. Now, let's switch back to the city. This is Waibaidu Bridge, built in 1907. It is one of Shanghai's most iconic landmarks and has appeared in countless movies and photographs. Walking across the Waibaidu Bridge, you can feel the weight of history beneath your feet. On one side, you have the historic Boundary area with its grand colonial-era buildings, and on the other, the modern Pudong skyline with the Oriental Pearl Tower and the Shanghai Tower piercing the clouds. The Waibaidu Bridge is a living connection between Shanghai's past and the present. Then there is Nanpu Bridge, with this dramatic spiral ramp that feels like riding a dragon into the city, offering a sweeping view of Shanghai's urban landscapes as you ascend. But Shanghai's bridge charm does not stop at these modern and historic icons. Tucked away in the city's outskirts are charming Asian towns with their own beautiful bridges. Take, for example, the bridges in Xinchang Asian town. This water town is crisscrossed by canals, and its stone arch bridges add a touch of old world charm. The Hongfu Bridge, the most iconic bridge in Xinchang, was built during the Ming Dynasty. Its arch gracefully spans the river, and the bridge is lined with stone railings adorned with intricate carvings. Locals believe stepping on the feng shui stone at the bridge's center brings good luck, and it's actually a symbol of Hongfu, abundant blessings. For a city this big, Shanghai surprises a lot of visitors. Walk along the Nanjing Road, one of the busiest shopping streets in the world, and you'll rarely see trash on the ground. Since 2019, Shanghai has enforced strict garbage sorting policies. Today, the city has around 46,000 public trash bins. These bins are placed to eliminate litter distance. In high-traffic areas like tourist attractions and commercial zones, the standard is one bin every 50 meters. This accessibility directly reduces random littering. Tourists and residents don't need to carry the waste for a long time. There are also more than 13,000 public toilets in Shanghai, clean, modern, and easy to find. And believe it or not, they are all free to use. How cool is that? Over the last 10 years, I've really felt Shanghai is getting greener and greener, and the numbers back it up. By late 2025, we are talking over 1,000 parks, including 341 tiny pocket parks that turn street corners into neighborhood oases. With a 39% green coverage rate, that's 2/5 of the city. Nature is no longer a special trip, it's right outside your door. Another cool change I've noticed, Shanghai is getting quieter every year. A decade ago, busy streets were full of noisy bus engines, but now over 70% of buses are electric. No more loud engines roars, And nearly 32% of cars are new energy vehicles too. That means street noise has dropped so fast that you can actually feel it. And with way less car pollution, Shanghai's air quality just keeps getting better year after year. When people imagine Shanghai, mountains are usually the last thing they think of. Yes, the city is flat. The average elevation is just about 2.2 meters. But surprise, Shanghai actually has mountains. First up, we have Sheshan. This isn't your typical towering mountain, but it's a gem in Shanghai's crown. Standing at about 99 meters, East Sheshan and West Sheshan are like nature's skyscrapers in this city's concrete ones. As you hike up, you will pass ancient trees that have witnessed centuries of Shanghai's history. At the top of West Sheshan, you will find the Sheshan Observatory, a scientific marvel that has been gazing at the stars since 1900. Now it's part of the Shanghai Astronomical Museum, reborn in 2004. Its crown jewel is the legendary 14cm binocular refracting telescope, built at the same year as the observatory. This European-style heritage site is where China's modern astronomy story began. And right beside it stands the Sheshan Basilica. Built in 1873, this iconic structure is a major Catholic pilgrimage site, drawing believers and tourists from home and abroad every year to visit and pray. Just a mile away from Sheshan is Tianma Mountain. It might be the tallest among Shanghai's peaks at 99.8 meters. But what makes it truly special is the Leaning Tower of Huzhu Pagoda. We all know about the famous Leaning Tower of Pisa, but this 700-year-old structure leans even more dramatically. Legend has it that tower's tilt is due to a magical battle between local spirits, adding a touch of mystery to this already fascinating site. Nestled in the heart of the Expo Cultural Park, the Twin Hills stands as a pair of architectural masterpieces. They are not your typical mountains formed by nature over millennia. Instead, they are the result of brilliant human creativity, designed to be a new landmark in Shanghai's ever-evolving skyline. Imagine standing at the summit, feeling the breeze on your face as you're taking in the panoramic sight of Shanghai's modern skyscrapers, along with the serene beauty of the park. Here comes the seventh fun fact. Shanghai is where Chinese cinema really took off. The first Chinese narrative film, The Dumb Husband, was made here in 1913. By the 1930s and 40s, Shanghai was called Oriental Hollywood. Iconic films like Street Angel and Spring in a Small Town captivated audiences with their poignant storytelling and unforgettable characters. Shanghai's love affair with film is palpable in its over 300 cinemas. Among these, the Grand Theatre stands as a timeless icon. Since its opening in 1933, this Art Deco gem has hosted countless premieres of Chinese classics. The Cathay Theatre, another cultural cornerstone since 1932, has charmed audiences with its elegant facade and rich history. These century-old cinemas are not just places to watch films. They are living museums where the city's passion for cinema comes alive, showcasing Shanghai's enthusiasm for the silver screen. For a deep dive into Shanghai's cinematic heritage, the Shanghai Film Museum is an unmissable destination. Housed in a restored 1930s building that once belonged to the Shanghai Film Group, the museum's striking exterior hints at the treasures within. The museum's collection is a golden mine for film enthusiasts. Vintage cameras, handwritten scripts from legendary directors, and original posters of classic movies transport you back to the golden age of Shanghai film. The museum has masterfully recreated the vivid micro-shooting scene from the famous movie like Street Angel. You can feel the energy and the drama of a real 1930s film production. The Shanghai Film Museum makes the magic of cinema accessible and engaging for visitors of all ages. It's no wonder so many filmmakers have been drawn to Shanghai's streets, alleyways, and skyscrapers as backdrops. The city's diverse landscapes have starred in blockbusters like Empire of the Sun, Last Caution, Mission Impossible 3, .007 Skyfall, Her, and so on. That's why Shanghai isn't just a backdrop for movies, it's a part of cinema's DNA. So, there you have it, 7 fun facts about Shanghai. Thanks for joining me on this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you like it. I'll see you next time.
First fun fact, you're here with me. Steam from the cups on this side street. Old brick walls lean in like friends. Shanghai smiles around the bend. 7 fun facts in Shanghai, hidden where the old vines climb. In vintage villas, you and I read the secrets line by line. 7 fun facts in Shanghai, soft as sugar in your drink. Let's wander this amazing city before the daylight even